What up? All right, so I got disconnected. I think I hit a thing. I should be live soon. I just want to hit you guys up with the ending. Because, yeah, I don't know when it ended or whatnot. Basically, guys, for those of you who are watching, I was doing a stream earlier. You could watch it. It's the value ladder, how to build a VIP section. I just wanted to end the stream. I've been going on now for like maybe an hour, 2 hours. I don't know right now. Because it's more than just this stream, and I want you guys to be like aware of it. And what I mean of it, let me just make sure it's streaming. Cool. Guys, I look ridiculous with my hair. But you check it. It's like I've shown you guys like the concept of how you can make like $2,000 a day, $7,000 a week, because Jordan's doing it and other people I work with are doing it. And to a degree, like when I make a sale, right, I've made $3,000 a day. And so it's just building up that value until you guys get there. And I just feel like the need to say it as straightforward as possible is that, because a lot of times in people's lives, you will get this position in life where you decide that you don't want other people to, in my opinion, the way I see it, this is all subjective, is that you will see someone do something and say it's not possible for you. And so you will do what you have to do to make it so that it's not possible, by either saying that the person doing it is unethical, by saying that it's a fucking joke, like whatever he's doing. Like I've heard people bash on Ninja for saying that Fortnite is like whatever. Like who gives a fuck, right? He's making billions of dollars online, right? Like, and it's just this thing where it's like, dude, like you want to, like it's just the brain rationalizing, in my opinion. It's like you cannot I don't even know like a nice way to put it. I mean, it is what it is, right? You go along these systems where it's like, hey, that guy has something, I do not have something. He has something because he did something I'm not willing to do, right? And so take that also as motivation for those of you guys who are already doing this, to like not to have an idea of like, let me show them. But if you learn enough about like evolution and psychology, I'll just leave you guys with this. There's a concept called reverse signaling. I listened to a podcast by Sam Harris called Reverse Signaling. It's called Hidden Motives. If you want to look it up, it's on iTunes, Spotify, the whole jazz. The person he interviews talks about this idea called reverse signaling, where basically it's if you had an associate or someone you didn't really know, weren't friends with, you would dress all formal. You wouldn't joke around with them. You'd be like, how's it going, sir, etc. Right, so I tell you guys about this because I'm doing it. I come up on my stream dancing on the streams, and I come up on my streams having cordial talks, if that's the right word to say. Right, I'm just like, yo, what up, dog? Al Neferretti here. Right? Why do you do that in terms of marketing? Because if you reverse signal and you show to people like, hey, I'm just a guy, right? In and of itself, it lets people, it humanizes you, it disarms. There's too many people who have this concept of like that everyone's out to get them, and in and of itself, it's like even by me saying that, you'd be like, oh, this guy's trying to trick me, whatever it is, right? I'm just at a point in life. I'm in a point where it's just like, dude, how many people can I get to like snap up and wake up, right? Before it's too fucking late. Before you live a life of something that you don't want to be doing. Before you are living a life that you cannot quit your job because you have too many responsibilities, and now you're stuck doing a job that you don't love, that doesn't wake you up inside. And I've seen it happen to too many of my friends, too many stories, too many businesses that I have studied and seen them fall because it's like ego. It's like unwilling to learn from history, unwilling to learn from human society, unwilling to just take a position that if you just studied a little bit history and studied a little bit about, whoa, Siri went off. No, Siri, I'm not talking to you. But basically this idea, guys, is just like, and this has nothing to do with digital marketing. This is all just life right now. It's like, this is what I take and what I think of life. Is like Kanye West wrote a song called Good Life, and he talks about how to live the good life. And in that story, he says, hey, 50 Cent told me, go ahead, switch the style up. And if they hate, let them hate, watch the money pile up. So what that means to me, as my life right now, is that Kanye West, while he was on his grind, listened to what 50 Cent, a mentor, said to him and took his advice. And I don't, like, I say this to you because, like, my position in life, knowing what I know now, it's like I would not be here unless I had the mentors I had, unless I met Jordan, unless I seeked out, right? I'm a fucking dummy, dude. I don't give, like, don't see things like, oh, I went to tech, or I finished college, or I could do this technical stuff as an idea that you guys couldn't do it as well, right? I just decided to do it. And that's really all it takes for you guys. Not that it's that simple. I know it's hard, but it took me like 10 years to get to this point. And maybe it took me like longer than that in terms of like self-discovery. And I say this because I've consulted with people who are like, hey, you're natural in the camera, or XYZ, right? And so I show some of the stuff I do, like my articles I write on Blend Logic and all this stuff, right? And you're like, oh, like I'll just phrase it this way. Me writing articles, I used to hate it. And then I remembered I was actually in journalism. And then getting in front of the camera doing this stuff, I actually remembered back in high school, when I was in journalism, I wrote the newspaper for the Greenbrier High School. I literally asked out a girl to go to prom with me by writing an article about the best ways to get asked out to prom. And then I put at the very last paragraph, hey, Kara, will you go out with me? Right? And so in and of itself, it's like, I want you guys to just have this, like have the transparency. Everything I'm trying to show is like, dude, this is years in the making, and just try to activate your reticular activation system so that you remember when you were bold. You remember when times were good. If you're going through tough times right now, I'm telling you, there's good times. And if you train your brain to see good and you train your brain to see opportunity, you will not see it as fear. You will not see things as like things are going to end, and you will just see things as massive opportunity, massive upside. And so this is what I talk about when I talk to my team and my interns, of like how I brainwash myself. Is it's a concept called reticular activation system, in which what you see is everything. Like what you focus on is what you see. And I want to share this with you as part of like a digital marketer, because I'm in too many groups, too many people who have gone to Tony Robbins conferences. I've been to them myself, and I look around and they're like, when's the next Tony Robbins conference? Or I'm not saying like everyone's like that. It's just a trend I see in the market where it's like, when's the next course? When's the next digital marketing course that's going to teach me how to do Facebook ads? Or when's the next XYZ? And at the end of the day, I want to make a product so great that it's not just that I explained everything, but I gave you guys the motivation and the inspiration to start inspiring yourself so that you could inspire others. Right? That's the whole game of what I'm doing, dude. It's like, fuck me, fuck this like course that I'm selling or whatever, right? You should be doing stuff because there's people you care about that you know will switch their style up and watch the money pile up. And that's all I gotta fucking say is like, everyone's gonna hate on you, right? Taylor Swift wrote a song and she says, well, if they hate on you, Tay-Tay says you gotta shake. Justin Timberlake says haters gonna hate, or haters gonna think it's fake. Right. So whatever you do in life, if like I wanted to make that outro and that I went live, like something happened to my MacBook, I went live again just so I could fucking say this ending. Right. What you guys just watched will literally, like that Kartra thing, if you go into it and have a little curiosity, have the right work ethic, like everything you see me do, like that motivational blend I put on Kobe, this thing I just stood up for 2 hours doing, that's it, dude. Like, in and of itself, when people ask me for a shortcut, I kind of, it's not that I feel bad. It's like, I know that if they had a different mindset and learned it themselves, that they'd be in a better position than if I just gave them the thing. And that's like the old saying in the Bible, like teach a man to fish versus give a man a fish. Right. And so like when people come to me and they're like, hey, just like at a certain point, I realize some people have their own craft and they're working on their own things. But in that, I just know that for some people, if they just spent the time to learn everything, right? You could get this thing called, Charlie Munger talks about in his book. It's called the Lollapalooza effect. And it's basically what I believe it is what Tony Robbins said when I went to his conference. He said it's called an awakening experience. And so there's two things I want to say. When I went to Tony Robbins conference in Phoenix, this guy said, hey, I'm woke, right? The meme speak. I'm aware. I'm woke now. And Tony Robbins said, no, you're not fucking woke. You just had an awakening experience. And I remember hearing that, and I was like, what the fuck is awakening experience? Right? Because I've never heard that before. So I did some digging. And so some of it led me to what Charlie Munger talks about, which is the Lollapalooza effect. And it's this idea that it doesn't matter. There's no more crutches, right? Anything you wanted to do, you could do it. I believe that straight up, I will make everything happen that I set my dreams to. Like I tell you guys, I'm going to make 10K a month. I'm going to make it happen. Next year, I'm going to make 20K a month. And then the year after that, 40K. And the year after that, 80K. Right. And even if it doesn't happen, I pull an Oprah and just be like, well, it's not that at least I tried. It's I gave it my all. Right. And like I tell people that and they're like, oh, wow, that's so aggressive. Like you want to be a millionaire in 4 years or make $1 million in revenue? Yeah, motherfucker. What else would I be doing? Right. And so that took a while to get to that mindset, but I share it with you because I believe everyone could have it. And I believe it's what Charlie Munger is talking about is the Lollapalooza effect, or what Tony Robbins is talking about is the awakening experience, is that you just learn so much about history, about biology, about marketing, about sales, about technology, about coding. And then you're like, holy fucking shit, I know so much that I might as well just do it myself. Like I'm not waiting for anyone. I'm not waiting for anyone to put a TV out here, to get a camera and to make a video, right? And so that is the answer, right? It's not my courses, it's not these videos. It's like getting to that point where you're like, dude, I could fucking learn it if I just applied it myself. And it's a better experience by teaching a man how to fish than by getting a fish. And so it's harder that way. I'm telling you, it took me years, but that's what I believe Charlie Munger is talking about. And so I'm going to end that stream on that note, guys. Look that stuff up. The book is called Poor Charlie's Almanac. And I don't even think Tony Robbins has ever spoken about this in any of his books. That was a conference I went to in Phoenix about a couple of years ago. So that's my 2 cents, guys. Sorry it got cut out. I wanted to do this outro, but I thought it was so important. Might as well share it. And yeah, guys, see you guys on the next one. Peace.